Hello students, welcome back to your English class. Today we are going to read the second part of the second lesson of your book Beehive for class 9. The second part is the Sehnai of Bismillah Khan. You all know who is Bismillah Khan, right? Yes, Bismillah Khan. He is an Shehnai player, an Indian Shehnai player. How his hard work brought him to fame, we are going to learn that in this particular story. You know, students, that there is no substitution to hard work and dedication, right? And the people who do reach the zenith of the life were endowed with good qualities, but only good qualities does not bring you to the zenith. Along with that, there should be hard work. And here, how Bismillah Khan with his hard work has become one of the renowned Sehnai player in India. We are going to learn about it. Not only in India but also in the world, he has become a renowned Shehnai player. So let's start. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. The sound of pungi was very, very unpleasant. It was shrilling and it was not soothing to the ears. That's why it was banned by Emperor Aurangzeb. Pungi became the generic name of reeded noisemakers. So those people who used to say that I can do this, I can do that, this pungi name was given to them just as a joke to make fun of them. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. There were very few people or person who thought that the fungi one day must be revived, can be used in a new way. A Berber of a family of professional musicians who had access to royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of pungi. So one from a musician's family's Berber who also went to the royal court wanted to change the sound of fungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi. It was longer, broader, and it had a hollow stem. Such pipe was used and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. And there were almost 7 holes which were made on the body of it. When he played on it, closing and opening some of the holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. So when he played on it, melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty, and everyone was impressed. Before the royalty, before the king, and everyone was impressed on hearing it. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. It was different from pungi, it was not pungi, it must be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played by the Shah's chamber and was played by a nai, the instrument was named Shah Nai. That's Shehnai. The sound of the Sehnai began to be considered auspicious. Now its sound began to be auspicious, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. In North Indian wedding, it is an compulsory component. In the past, the Shehnai was part of Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal court. It was one of the 9 instruments that was found in royal court. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument into the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So Ustad Bismillah Khan, he brought this particular musical instrument out of the tradition from the temples, from the weddings. He brought it out to the common man. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. He used to play gilli danda. He was a small boy, and like other small boy, he used to do the same. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita. He went to go to a temple, Bihariji temple, to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg. And he used to earn a big laddu of 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. The Bharat Ratna. After 80 years of hard work, he has now got the Bharat Ratna. Born on 21 March or 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. He was from a family of musicians. His grandfather, Rasul Baksh Khan, was the Shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpur King's court. His grandfather, Rasul Baksh, was the Shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpur's king. His father, Paigambar Baksh, and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. His father, other uncles, they were all great Shehnai players. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, now called Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncle practice the Shehnai. Soon, Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Baksh was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Baksh, he was playing the Shehnai in Vishnu temple, and along with him, Bismillah Khan also used to go. Ali Baksh would play the Shehnai, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. And when he started getting lessons about it, he started practicing them throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangalamaya and the banks of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. These were the place where he practiced in solitude, in a lone place. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas, and were earlier considered to be beyond the range of Shehnai. Different ragas could not be done in Shehnai, but he was inspired by the flowing of Mother Ganga, and thus new tunes, new ragas came through Shehnai. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it. You need to work hard, you need to practice more, and I know you will crack the nut." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 became Bismillah's big break. He soon became often heard Shehnai player on radio. He was the most often heard Shehnai player on radio. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Sehnai. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Diarist with Destiny speech. So he was the first to play Shehnai and greet the independent India on 15th August 1947 in front of the Indian leaders. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpet and other sovereigns. He was given precious gift by the king of Afghanistan. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated by Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah's play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Gunj Uthi Shehnai. He was so impressed by Bismillah's Shehnai that Vijay Bhatt he made a film called Gunj Uthi Shehnai. The film was a hit and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. And Bismillah Khan's own composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's venture in film music were limited to two: Vijay Bhatt's Gunj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivasa's Kannada venture Sanadhi Apanna. I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis. He said that the artificiality which comes in the movies, he does not cope up with that show. He does not love working for the films. Award and recognitions came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited from the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in United States of America. He was the first one to perform there. He also took part in World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival, and in the Oscar Trade Fair. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tahar Mosque Ustad Bismillah Khan. Even an international auditorium was named after him. National awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan, the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. In 2001, Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, with the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said. All I would like to say is, teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music, he says after getting the highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, that one should teach their children the Indian music because people from abroad are coming to learn our music. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Sahab, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Benares and Tumrao, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shahnai school in USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Benares by replicating the temples there. But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport River Ganga as well. A student of him told to reside in USA to open an school, and he would make all the settings of Benares. Bismillah Khan said, can he take Mother Ganga there? Then only he would go. Later, he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think only of Benares and the Holy Ganga. And while in Benares, I miss the unique Matha of Damrao. His native place, Benares, Damrao, they were the places which he was much fond of. They were the places where he wanted to reside, wanted to stay. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of rich cultural heritage of India. One that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Sahnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after a prolonged illness. He was given a state funeral, and the government of India declared one day of national mourning. So, this was his achievement. There is a small newspaper cutting which should be interesting for you. Shekhar Gupta asked, when partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? A good answer was given by Bismillah Khan that God forbid me leave Benares. Never. He never wanted to leave Benares. That was the love he was having for Benares, for India. I went to Pakistan once. I crossed the border just to say I have been to Pakistan. He just visited to the country. I was there for an hour. I said namaskar to the Pakistanis and salam alaikum to the Indians. I had a good laugh. He was laughing. He had a good laugh. He had a fun there. So students, that was your second part. I hope you all are going well. Go through the text. Hope you are doing well with the text. And that's all. Thank you and have a nice day.